Hey guys, Trienne here, your leadership performance coach. Recently I've been hearing a lot and talking a lot about emotional intelligence, and specifically emotional intelligence in how we use it to not only manage ourselves, but to effectively manage our teams. So, what is emotional intelligence? I want to share that with you today. I'm also going to give you 4 reasons why I feel like emotional intelligence and gaining that is actually really important for the way that we are effectively leading our teams. So, first of all, can we just agree that really navigating through our leadership roles, it's becoming increasingly clear that one trait is going to stand out as a game changer? And we're going to call it emotional intelligence for this training or this conversation, but it's really empathy. It's really understanding how another person feels and bringing that understanding into your conversation. So, can we agree on that? Right? So, we're in a really fast-paced work culture right now. And it's just nice. It's not just nice to have this emotional intelligence or this understanding of other people. This is a must-have for effective leadership, for having a productive work environment, and for taking your vision and moving it forward with your team. So, first of all, let's really talk about how emotional intelligence is able to transform your leadership so that you can use your style and your influence to help your team and your organization ultimately move forward, right? So, why is an emotional intelligence skill important in leadership? Well, first of all, it's our ability to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively use our own emotions as well as what we understand of others. Okay. To put that into like a leadership context, it's more than just making decisions and about setting goals. It's about connecting with your team on a deeper level, creating trust, and creating a positive work environment by understanding how people feel in certain situations and understanding them as individuals. So, why that's all good and well, Trian, but why is that important for leadership? I mean, I'm the boss. Shouldn't I just tell them what to do and they should just do it? I don't know if you've noticed, but that's not the way the work culture is working these days. And it could be just, for me necessarily, because we have a number of teenagers that work in our team. But I know that this is not just individualized to that teen generation. I know that for me as well, I always did my very best and worked my hardest to become the best version of myself when I really felt like my manager, leader, boss treated me as an individual and understood where I was coming personally into each situation instead of giving the same directions and the same conversation to every single one of us on the team. Now, your first thing you might be saying is, isn't this going to take me longer, Trian? Like, why should I put that much effort into understanding and gaining a skill set in emotional intelligence? Well, do you want better communication with your team? Because leaders with a high emotional intelligence are better at active listening, empathizing with their team members, and delivering any sort of feedback constructively. So when we think about this, this gives us clearer communication and stronger relationships among our team. Secondly, how do you feel about conflict resolution? How much time does it take in your day to go through and guide conversations that have some sort of conflict to them? So, emotional intelligence is going to help a leader really guide through any conflicts because you're already looking at those underlying emotions and not just the surface issue. So, people are having a feeling of being more understood and not just that they are receiving some sort of constructive criticism or feedback. Then we are adding to the productivity of our work environment because we're quickly getting through this conflict resolution and we're resolving some of those different opinions and ideas. And we're understanding and appreciating some of those difference of opinions and ideas. The next thing that if you want to get better at emotional intelligence for your leadership that you can look forward to is it's a way to better motivate your team. So a leader that has emotional intelligence can quickly recognize what motivates each team member, and then they're going to tailor their approach according to the right language of appreciation for that team member. So you can also, if you're watching this through YouTube, you can find our training on the the 5 languages of appreciation, so that you can figure out maybe not only what the people on your team are, so that you can be more specific to the way that you show appreciation for them, but also for yourself. The last one is resilience. So leaders that have a high emotional intelligence can also handle stress and setbacks with more composure. And that shows their team and inspires them how to remain really resilient when it comes to facing challenges as a company. So if you understand how you best handle stress and setbacks, then you can see that in your team and you can manage those emotions and really think about. One of the things I share with my clients is saying, when I have a situation, I'll say, what is the story I'm telling myself right now? What is the truth? And what's my next step? So I have a challenge come into my business. I get myself all emotionally worked up. Then I stop and I say, okay, the story I'm telling myself is, the truth really is. And now what am I going to do next? Right? So that will help slow you down, really tune into the emotions that you're having. And once you're able to do this for yourself, you're able to do this with your team as well. So if you feel like you want to dive a little bit deeper into emotional intelligence, obviously there are a number of trainings that are out there. Hopefully this one was helpful for you. But also, I'd love to invite you to do a virtual coffee chat, right? So during your chat, we can really talk about your specific team dynamics. We can look at maybe some practical strategies that are going to help you integrate some of this emotional intelligence skill into your leadership style. And we can maybe even look at the way that you can then take this and teach it to your team as well. Because again, as leaders, we get this great ability to be focused on continuous growth and learning. But the way to really solidify it into our own habits is to be able to teach it to our team and then help them learn to utilize it, because then we're using our influence to help them grow as leaders as well. And the more personal leaders that we can grow on our team, the more opportunities that we have to do those other things that we want to do in our teams, organizations, and companies. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today as we talked about emotional intelligence. I'm super excited for you to use this in your teams. And I would love to hear in the comments how it actually helped you grow productivity, resilience, communication, and motivation within your teams. All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.